Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slaying Hope, and I have another book review for y'all today. And this one is about Assata Shakur's autobiography. So the reason that I read the book was because, I believe there was an individual, I started to get into conscious books around this time. And I believe the same person that gave me From Niggas to Gods to read, he told me about Assata Shakur. And of course, in her involvement with the Black Panther Party and, the Black Liberation Army. So, you heard she kind of shot a state trooper and that she kind of went away. So I kind of was interested in hearing about her and hearing about her story. So that's the reason why I got into the book. I just heard so much about Assata Shakur, and then I was just like, yeah, I need to read that book. So that's why I read it. The book is basically about, again, it's the autobiography of Assata Shakur, right? So it's just basically talking about how she grew up, how she was raised, when did she start getting involved with activism, political stuff with the Black Panther Party. She talks about other organizations that she kind of joined before becoming part of the Panther Party. So she kind of gives you a little walkthrough of her life. She was born in Queens, Shout out to Queens. Queens stand up. I believe she was born in Flushing. But she was also raised in some parts of the South. If I'm not mistaken, it was North Carolina. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it. But she basically just walks you through her life, how she got involved with community activism, and how it led to the shooting of the state trooper. So that's basically what the book is about. What I got from the book, basically, it was just about the resilience, right? What I got from the book, it was just a lot of times you don't really hear about women, really playing the field, what we call the field, usually you hear about women doing organizational work, working behind a desk, not really in the forefront, when you heard about the Panther Party, you really heard more about men. You really was shown more pictures and more images of men holding the guns and the men in the forefront and the men, right? We did see women, but not the same way we seen men. So to hear about Assata Shakur, right? It was just to hear about a woman that, she wasn't trying to play none of that. She wasn't, I remember in her book, she talks about how they was trying to tell her to sell newspapers or stuff like that. She was just like, I'm not trying to be doing that. I'm not here to be selling newspapers or giving out newspapers and stuff like that. But the Panther Party had a little, they had a little program, a little curriculum that you have to go through. They ain't just give anybody a gun, or they ain't just, put you out there to go patrol or to go do certain things. So she kind of speaks about that. She just wanted to kind of immediately get into the field. So what I get is just a different picture that we're not really used to seeing of a woman that was kind of in the field, in the forefront. She was about that life. She was about that mess. So, and it's a story of freedom, right? It's not only did you hit up a state trooper, but and I gotta say this, the police wage war on the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army. They wage war on political activists, on people that were trying to improve the conditions of themselves and their people. So yeah, there was a war thing going on. Oftentimes we hear these people trying to demonize these people that kill cops and stuff like that, but it's they wage war on them. They was killing them. They was knocking them off, locking them up, killing them. So the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, they made preparations. Enough is enough, So what I got from it, it was just kind of interesting to see that there was a sister, that was with the shits. Because that's basically what it was. She was with the shits, and for her to be able to get away, for her to be not only kill a state trooper, she got shot in the process, go to prison, get convicted, serve 2 years into her sentence, and then escape out of prison. That's gangster. That's a real gangster right there. That's one of the real gangsters that I mentioned in my live the other day. So, may God preserve her. May the pigs never get their hands on her. because, you know, that's like a symbol of freedom, you know, just like other people that fought and, you know, and did what they had to do when they had to do it. So I definitely embraced that part of it, that part of the book. And that's kind of like something that stuck with me, like her resiliency, like her fight. And, you know, it just gives you that feeling, right? When you feel like things is really like not going to change, like, right, there's always going to be people that's going to be willing to stand up to the tyrants and try to change certain things. How I plan on implementing it is, yeah, I just try to tell people to read about it. Like, I just try to tell, like, some people that might feel like we don't, you know, we protest, like, they talk about protests, they talk about this, we talk about that. I'm not trying to, like, amp people up, like somebody said in my comments the other day, to go do something dumb. I'm just trying to show you how courageous some of our ancestors were. Like, we usually don't hear the stories about, like, what was done here. Like, you know, we don't hear about the rebellions, like slave rebellions, right? We don't hear about the Nat Turners. Like, we don't hear about, like, the whole bunch of different slave rebellions, you know, revolutions. We don't hear about, like, the people standing up for certain things, right? We only get the stories about, like, enslavement. We only get the stories about people giving up. We only get the stories about people just going along and doing whatever it is that they want them to do. But this is how I implement it. I'll tell people, like, yo, you should read this book. You should learn about this because it's part of our history. And I think, you know, there's some insight in there. You know, there's more to the book than just like, oh, yeah, she clapped the state trooper and, you know, she went to Cuba. You know, like, there's definitely more in there that she could kind of, like, give you. I fully don't remember the book. I read it a long time ago. But definitely is a great read. And it's one of the books that contributed to my growth. So make sure y'all check it out. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, share, so this thing could keep moving, you know. So y'all have a good one. Peace.